Another major NASCAR silly season domino has fallen as it has been announced that Cory Heim will return to the Truck Series in 2025 and continue driving for TRICON Garage in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to your video. As I just said on Sunday, we got some pretty major breaking news as it has been announced that Cory Heim will return to TRICON Garage in the Craftsman Truck Series in 2025. Here's the announcement from TRICON Garage. TRICON Garage has confirmed that Cory Heim will return to the team for a third full-time season in 2025. Heim, ranked as a top NASCAR prospect by multiple leading media outlets, will continue to drive the number 11 Safelite Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. I am excited to be back with TRICON for my third full-time year, said Heim. I have developed so many alongside this organization in the last 2 years, and we have made some incredible memories along the way. I can't wait to continue this journey in 2025. It is also expected that I believe that Scott Zipadelli will be the crew chief once again in 2025. This also confirmation of Heim's continued tenure with TRICON is the first of many exciting announcements for the 5-truck team as preparations begin for the 2025 NASCAR Truck Series season. There's been a lot of rumors and expectations that Cory Heim was going to be back in the Truck Series, but there also been some outside talk about him maybe moving up to the Cup Series with 2311. However, we'll get to that here in just a second. I would have to think Cory Heim probably, though, will make some select NASCAR Cup Series starts. We'll have to kind of wait and see. As for Cory Heim going back to the Truck Series, it is a shame to see that he will not be moving up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series with a team like Sam Hunt Racing or even Joe Gibbs Racing. But obviously, Joe Gibbs Racing is not going to be possible because you have Ty Gibbs there, and Ty Gibbs being the owner of one of the cars now, especially since Ty and Cory really do not like each other and they had a lot of problems with the Toyota stuff. It really is disappointing to see him not going to JGR, but it is what it is. As for Cory Heim going into 2025, he is going to be the favorite to win the championship. There is a lot of guys that have been his biggest threats all year for the championship moving up. You've, of course, got Christian Eckes joining Colleague Racing in 2025 in the number 16 car. You've got Nick Sanchez, who's been one of the biggest threats to Cory all year. He's moving up to Big Machine Racing in the 48 car, replacing Parker Kligerman next year. You've got Taylor Gray, a teammate of his, moving up to Joe Gibbs Racing. William Swalcher has been part-time with TRICON. He's moving up to Joe Gibbs Racing next year. Daniel Dye, who's been a solid competitor at times this year, he's moving up to Colleague Racing this upcoming season. You've got a lot of big names from the Craftsman Truck Series that are moving up to Xfinity. So who really are going to be the big competitors against Cory Heim? Well, I think you got to look at Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs, who's been really strong in the second half of this year, who could have a chance to get his third career win. He's been really strong near the end of the year. I think he'll be a threat. You're still probably going to have Ty Majeski next year, who's really good at the short tracks, and Ty Majeski has really emerged at times this year as one of the best truck drivers. I think he'll be good. I look at someone like a Caden Honeycutt, who's shown out. He was very fast at Homestead, kept up with Cory Heim, and I feel like there's been a few races this year where he's been up there with Cory Heim. And then you got Grant Enfinger, who I think has also been really strong this year, who I think will be a major threat. Now, the other question is, what happens with 2311? Because there was, like I said, some talk about him going to 2311. Well, we're all kind of waiting on the injunction, waiting for that to be granted or not. We are expected to get a decision either today or tomorrow, most likely. And when that does come out, we'll discuss it live here. But it sounds like at this point that Riley Herbst is going to get that third 2311 seat at this point. It's expected that Riley Herbst will be going to 2311. And then, of course, front row, they're waiting for theirs because Zane Smith, of course, will likely be taking the third front row seat. We're still waiting on that, though, at this point. But as for Cory, I really wish he'd be moving up next year. He is really, in my opinion, one of the top prospects. He's up there with Connor Zillage on the level of talent. And it's a shame to see that someone as good as Cory is not moving up next year. But at the same time, Cory does not bring as much sponsorship and funding as some of these other drivers. Cory Heim's been sponsored by Safelite. That was a Kyle Busch Motorsports and a Kyle Busch sponsor at KBM. He's been sponsored by a lot of the big Toyota companies. And really, Toyota will make a decision for him. I think Legacy could have been an option for next year, but this also tells me the Legacy Motor Club, he's probably going to be a reserve driver again for the teams next year is my guess, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see for more information to come out on that. And this also tells me that John Hunter Nemechek most likely is sticking around with Legacy. There have been rumors about John Hunter losing his seat going into next year, but I do think that he'll be very, very strong and stick around with the team as well. But as for Cory Heim, I hope in the future he gets to move up the Cup. But the problem for him is, like I said, with 23-11, right? You've got Bubba Wallace, who just signed a multi-year extension with the organization, and Bubba, who brings a lot of sponsorship funding to the table. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And then, of course, think about some of the other big drivers that have signed contracts for next year, right? I think about Tyler Reddick. I know there's been some rumors that if they don't get the injunction granted, he could lose his seat. But Tyler Reddick is probably going to be sticking around with the team going into next year. But as for Cory, going back to trucks, I do think he will make some select Xfinity Series starts with Sam Hunt Racing. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Hunt does run a second car at some point next year so that Cory can run a lot. I really wish he was moving up with Sam Hunt because I think he really built that program up. But at the same time, I'm also not surprised if Sam only runs one car next year. So now the big question surrounds, how is Cory Heim going to do in 2025? Well, Cory Heim will be the favorite to win the championship next year without question. I expect Cory to be the guy to beat, and I think he'll have the pace and speed. I think he wins at least 5 races next year. He's won 6 this year. He could up it and win 7 or 8, but I think he, like I said, will have some competition because there's some drivers moving up next year, and there's some better drivers coming into some of those rides. Raj is probably going to be back in the Truck Series with Spire next year. You're obviously going to have some rumors. I saw a rumor out there that maybe Kaz Grala might be joining the Truck Series next year. This rumor that I've heard recently. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens on that front. I think he makes the championship 4, and I think he could win his first championship, which he does have a chance to win the Truck Series championship tomorrow, and I think he's got a really good opportunity to get it done. I really hope Cory Heim, though, can do really good next year and continue to prove people that he deserves to be moving up, because I do think there's a really good chance that he'll be a Cup Series driver in the future. I don't think we'll have to wait too long for that. I hope 2025 is the last year that he is in the Craftsman Truck Series, because I do think he deserves to be moving up in 2025 personally, but also if TRICON wants to keep him around, I think they should. Now, the other question is, who's going to be back with TRICON Garage next year? I think Tanner Gray will be back. I think Tanner Gray will be back with TRICON next year. He's probably going to do some part-time stuff in ARCA with JGR, maybe do some part-time Xfinity stuff with JGR, but I do think he will be back next year with the team. Dean Thompson, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing at the moment for 2025. Dean Thompson got into a little bit of a fight with Tanner Gray, it sounds like, so he may not be back with the team. I've seen some people mention maybe Tony Breidinger. Gio Rogerio's name's been brought up as a possibility. Maybe some other drivers like Riley Hurts, if they don't get the 23-11 deal through, maybe he's a backup plan for this team. That could certainly be a possibility. But I think there's still a lot of big silly season dominoes that still need to fall at this point. And I think a lot of those dominoes are going to be happening here in the not-so-distant future. And I think a lot of big announcements are coming very, very soon in regards to silly season. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Link description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Cory Heim is going to do with TRICON Garage once again next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We will have some content later today. Of course, we will be doing the paint ski video for the Cup Series Championship race. We also will, if that injunction is granted, some other big announcements come. We'll have them here live on the channel. Then tomorrow we'll have a NASCAR news video wrapping up the week. We also will have reactions most likely to Xfinity Series qualifying, maybe reactions to truck qualifying as well, I'm not sure yet. And I also will have reactions to the championship race from Phoenix as well for the truck race. And we'll also have content around Hayden Deegan, Carlos, Shane Van Gisbergen, and all this stuff dropping later this week as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Of course, this weekend is championship week. A lot of great content dropping. Probably talk about Kyle Busch, all those people as well, like Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, name it too. Expect to see that on the channel this week. So I'll see you guys there for all that great content dropping really, really soon. Take care, everybody.